Joe Pietaro here with another Muscle Sport Minute. This episode is brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Our buddies at ironmaglabs.com. BCAA 3,000 milligrams. You need your branched chain amino acids. This is a heavy-duty bottle, 120 tablets. Thanks, Rob. This is some good shit. Make sure you guys go to ironmaglabs.com and order your bottle right now. Wow. Dubai, India was the scene of a whole weekend of bodybuilding and fitness and expos and all of this other stuff as part of the Sheru Classic. Now, I just want to say up front that what took place at that amateur fitness, I guess they called it amateur fitness, but it ended up really being bodybuilding. That had nothing to do with the actual Sheru. Sheru wasn't the promoter of this thing. It looked like it was fucking held in a garage. I mean, the backdrop was fucking terrible at this thing that took place on Thursday. This is what I'm understanding. And again, I got to hook up my friend Kevin Grench from evolutionofbodybuilding.net for the info and for breaking this story. And there's also the other one in Greece that we spoke about on another Muscle Sport Minute. Basically, this is what happened. The promoter of this, I'm assuming it's a IFBB amateur show where people are awarded pro cards. The promoter, like I said, so Sheru Angrish is the promoter of the Sheru Classic. So I guess this part of it, he must have had a co-promoter. And it was like the Fitness Expo part of the show. And it took place a couple of days before the pro show did. And the promoter was on stage and supposedly, and this is where it gets a little confusing because I guess the language barrier and something was translated on Instagram. And I don't know, maybe this is not 100% accurate, but all the reading that I've done on this and speaking to Kevin about it, it looks like that this is what happened. The promoter gets up on stage and the judges already handed in their cards. And they're ready to, well, I guess they didn't hand the cards to the promoter who was going to, I guess he was emceeing his own show. I don't know. It looked like a bag of shit, this fucking thing anyway, so who the hell knows. He's ready to read the winner who was going to be awarded a IFBB Pro card. And he brings up a sponsor on stage who supposedly is involved in a rival organization. Now, I don't know what the other organization was. It was, like I said, it was a little confusing. And for some reason, the judges got pissed off. And I guess they didn't get the memo. Or I guess the IFBB Amateur doesn't have the same thing as NPC where they're saying you can't fuck a guy for going in another organization or being involved in another organization, especially at the amateur level. And they're ready to give the award out, and the IFBB judges all got up off the panel and the tables, and they walked out. Well, the promoter is saying politics. We don't deal with politics here in Dubai, and that's just political shit. So I guess he didn't get the name of the guy who they picked to win, so he picks his own guy. You can't make this shit up, guys. So he picks a different guy that supposedly was awarded the first place in the pro card. Then we find out 3 days later at the Sheru Classic, the guy who the IFBB judges did award the winning, the show to, and the IFBB Pro card was a different guy who also competed in the Sheru Classic. I guess since he got his pro card, he can compete in any pro show that he wanted, and he was there anyway, so he figured, what the fuck? And the guy finishes in second place to Rolly Winkler. Now, it wasn't a great lineup, but I mean, this is also some guy that just got his pro card and all of this other nonsense involved in it, but it just looks really fucking bad. And, like I said, the Sheru Classic has so much bullshit involved in it. What was it, in 2011 and 12 or something, and then it was like the biggest show right after the Olympia, and they even changed the Olympia date. They pushed the Olympia back, pushed it up a week, so the Sheru Classic could take place the normal weekend of the Olympia. The following year, it took place right after the Olympia, and they had all the top guys there, Phil and Jay and all of these guys, because they were still in condition, and supposedly a boatload of money was spent on these guys to come there. I actually did a feature on it in Flex magazine for the 2012 Sheru Classic, and Sheru said every competitor had 2 people with them, 2 people, handlers, security kind of thing. They were worried about if there's any terrorist type of things. They wanted to have security and a handler with the guy or gal, and they got everything they wanted, soup to nuts, the whole diet, everything was made for them and everything, and the long flight and the 5-star hotel. So it cost a boatload of money, and supposedly Sheru didn't have that much money, and a lot of people got fucked out of their money. So in 2013, the show was much smaller. It only had, I think, 212 and like figure or some shit. And then it went away for a couple of years. Now it came back, and as far as I know, nothing bad happened at the actual Sheru itself, but this whole thing at this Fitness Expo stuff before that. I've had my own dealings with Sheru, and he seemed kind of shady, and I tried to get him. This is before he was doing these shows. He was actually, he was like a director of marketing for Dorian Yates Nutrition, and I met him at an Olympia, I believe it was, at an expo, and I saw him again at the Arnold, and we had many conversations and emails and stuff, and he wanted to be featured in Muscle Sport magazine as part of Dorian Yates Nutrition, and we came up with this big package deal. They were going to get a full-page ad, and they were going to get the editorial, which was kind of an advertorial, and blah, blah, blah. And we came up with all of this fucking money and how much it was going to cost, and it was a nice fucking package for me to get. Well, what do you think happened? He never sent the fucking money, so I never ran the fucking thing. I don't run things like that unless I get paid up front. And I kept telling him, deadline is whatever, and you got to get it in by then. And of course, Sheru, no, don't worry, pay, and I'll get it in there. And I'm like, no, bro, fuck that. So then the next thing I know, he's out of Dorian Yates Nutrition. I don't know how it ended, but I heard Dorian said some shitty things about him also. And then he ends up with the show, and then people get fucked at the show. So, you know, if you keep fucking going back to the same place, I wonder if the IFBB got paid up front, whatever. But somebody like that, I would steer clear, stay away, get the fuck out of there. $32 a year subscription, free US shipping. MuscleSportMag.com/subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode.